Real talk. Most B2B founders I see are running what I call a leaking bucket business. You are out here spending money on ads, hiring setters, paying closers, building LinkedIn funnels, doing cold outreach. And every single month, it feels like you are starting from scratch. The pipeline resets, you grind again. And what's wild is, the answer isn't more leads. The answer is sitting inside your existing client base and you are completely ignoring it. I watched a founder recently, $5 million a month, get up and say something that basically silenced a room full of people who are all doing very well. He said, "Why do you keep treating your fulfillment like it's a cost center when it's literally your second sales team?" And that's it, because it's true. And most people don't operate that way. So today I'm breaking down how you flip the script, how your fulfillment, your delivery, your client success, whatever you want to call it, becomes the thing that actually scales your revenue. Not as a concept, practically. The belief that's quietly killing your growth. Here's what I see constantly with B2B founders, agencies, SaaS, service businesses. There is this deeply ingrained belief that goes something like, my clients need to get results before they will buy again. That belief sounds responsible, it sounds like you have standards, but it's actually just fear dressed up in a suit, because the data says otherwise. Some of the most consistent revenue I have seen in this space, recurring, compounding revenue, comes from clients who didn't fully perform, who didn't get to their version of the home run, and still renewed, still brought the next thing, still referred. Why? Because they trusted the relationship, they trusted the process, they trusted the operator. Which means the product isn't what's driving the second sale. You are. The experience is. And that's something most founders don't architect on purpose. It just kind of happens by accident when it happens at all. Or the $5 million guys actually do different. The highest earners don't see fulfillment as something that happens after the sale. That's the big reframe. They see the entire customer journey as a pipeline, just like your sales pipeline. And in a lot of cases, their post-sale pipeline is actually more detailed than the pre-sale one. Here's the model that was broken down specifically. When a client comes in, you want 3 clear moments engineered inside your fulfillment. Not hoped for, not improvised, engineered. Moment 1, first win, fast. You need to create a moment inside the first 30 days where the client feels like this was the right decision. Doesn't matter how big or small that win is, buyers are always experiencing buyer's remorse in the early stages. Your job is to collapse that window. If you are a B2B agency, maybe that is a qualified intro call they wouldn't have gotten on their own. If you are a SaaS, maybe that's their first meaningful piece of data out of your platform. If you are a consulting firm, maybe it's a clarity session where they walk out with a roadmap they didn't have before. Whatever it is, it needs to happen fast and it needs to feel earned. Moment 2, the ascension window. This is one that most people leave entirely on the table. Inside the first 60 days of a new client relationship, there is a window where their trust in you is actually at its highest because you are new, they are paying attention, you are executing, the energy is fresh. That is the single best time to present the next level of what you offer. Not at the end of a contract when they are already evaluating whether to stay. Not 6 months in when momentum has flattened out. Right there in the early window when they are in motion, when they are bought in, when they are already giving you access and attention. Most founders wait too long, and by the time they make the ask, the window closed 3 months ago. Moment 3, the renewal conversation. And I want to be clear, this is not a conversation you have when the contract ends. This is a conversation you plan for at the beginning. Map out when you are going to sit down with this client and have a real conversation about what they have gotten, what's next, and what continuing looks like. This conversation should happen before renewal is even relevant, before it's on their radar. Because if the first time a client hears anything about the next step is when their contract is 30 days out, you are having that conversation on defense. They are already talking to your competitors. They have already started building the case in their head for why they might not need you anymore. You want to have that conversation when they are winning, when their guard is down, when the relationship is good. The math on why this actually matters for B2B. I know there are founders watching this who have businesses doing solid revenue, maybe 50K, 100K, 200K a month, and you are thinking about growth as a new client problem. But here's the actual math. If you have 20 clients paying you 5K a month, that's 100K. If you improve your ascension rate and 5 of those clients upgrade to a 10K engagement, you just added 25K without a single new lead, without a single cold outreach. And the cost to sell to an existing client who trusts you, fraction of what you are spending to acquire new ones. The guys doing $5 million a month, they have holding companies, multiple offers. And the whole machine is built around ascending the same customer through different tiers rather than constantly replacing the bottom of the bucket. It's not that they are better at marketing, it's that they have stopped treating every month like month 1. There's just something I want to say that goes a layer deeper than tactics. A lot of B2B founders avoid the second sale conversation because they are scared of what the client is going to say. They don't want to hear feedback. They don't want to find out the client isn't happy. So they just don't ask. And that avoidance is costing you compoundingly. Because the founders who are printing consistently, recurring, expanding revenue, they have built a very specific habit. They detach from the outcome of the conversation and they go habit anyway. They ask for feedback even when they are not sure what they will hear. They make the essential offer even when they are not sure the timing is perfect. The willingness to have uncomfortable conversations with existing clients is one of the biggest separators between 50k months and 500k months in B2B. Not your traffic, not your offer, that conversation. Now here is where I want to be direct with you. Everything I just laid out, Ascension Windows, engineered first wins, renewal architecture, this is exactly the kind of thinking I help B2B founders operationalize. Not at a conceptual level, at the here is your exact system level. I work specifically with SaaS founders, agency owners, marketing agencies, recruiting agencies, loan vendors, wealth management firms, essentially any B2B business where consistent intro calls are the lifeblood of growth. And the specific thing I help with is this: getting you 5 to 6 qualified, consistent intro calls per month with the right kind of buyers. Not random volume, the right people consistently showing up on your calendar. Because here is the thing, everything I talked about today only compounds if you have a consistent flow of the right clients coming in and a system to retain and expand them once they are in. So if you are at a stage where you are doing okay, but the pipeline feels unpredictable, some months are great, some months you are stressing, and you want to fix that specifically, drop a comment, hit me up, link in the description below. I don't work with everybody, but if you are a legitimate B2B business with a real offer and you want consistent pipeline, let's actually talk about what that looks like for your specific situation. That's it. If this was useful, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.